Hi there, it's Paul in Perth here again today. We're going to be doing another video today, and we're going to be doing it on this this Mondeo here. This is a Mark IV, which is a third generation Mondeo. They ran from 2007 until 2014. And they're just getting to that age now where a lot of them are getting the check engine light come on. And when you put the diagnostics on it, what you'll find is the check engine light is caused by this little bastard here. This is your oxygen sensor, and in particular, this is your pre-catalytic oxygen O2 sensor. What happens is, because the pre-cat sensor is in a really hot part of the exhaust, they just break down over time. You know, these poor things get a really hard life, and eventually they break down, they start giving an incorrect reading, and your check engine light comes on. The good news for all you Mondeo owners is these are incredibly simple to fit. So come on over and I want to show you how they look. So if the cameraman could just come in and shoot down the back of the engine here. This here is your pre-catalytic converter, a pre-catalytic oxygen sensor. So that is that there. And this is your cat converter, this fat thing here. And if you look, I don't know whether you can see it on camera, but if you look way at the back there, there's your post-cat sensor. So you've got a pre-cat sensor and a post-cat sensor, and in the middle of them is the catalytic converter themselves. Now, the cameraman just pulls back to me a bit. To do this job, you're going to need some special tools. Now, there are kits you can buy called oxygen sensor removal tools or whatever, and it'll come with a bunch of fittings. And this is the fitting that I'm going to use today. So that's what's called an offset socket. In the kit you'll get all kinds of little different shapes and sizes. They tend to be weird shapes and sizes because where these oxygen sensors are tend to be in difficult tight spots. So this is the one I'm going to use. What it says on the side is, I think it's 7/8 of an inch and 7/8 of an inch and 22 millimeter. That one fits. So if the cameraman goes back to where he was before, what I'm going to do is, with it in the offset position, I'm just going to put that into the base and make sure that I've got a snug fit down the bottom, right? I'm going to disconnect the electric part. So I've unplugged that. So now I've just got that, and all I need to do is turn it. Now, because of how the difficulty of the position, I'm actually using one of these wobble joints. You use whatever works for you, okay? So I'm using a wobble joint, a couple of extenders, and I've got a ratchet arm here. You just use whatever works for you. This is what's working for me. So I'm going to put that into my offset there, and I'm going to crack it. Now, I should have said this at the start of this video. Please do this when the engine is cold. You're dealing with the exhaust, and the exhaust gets super hot. So it's the start of the day. That's why there's all the traffic in the background that's causing all the noise. I do apologize for that. It's the start of the day. This engine is cold. Don't attempt this when the engine is hot. You will burn yourself, okay? So now that I've got that in, I'm just going to turn it just like I would turn anything else, and it turns. Now, look, I'll give you a little filmmaking tip. I set that up by cracking it before the camera got turned on. You will find when you do it for real that the first crack can be quite difficult. You may have to put a fair bit of whack behind it. To make my video easier, I actually pre-cracked it. But trust me, it's just like any other bolt you've ever undone. It undoes just like normal. You just turn it anti-clockwise. And there you go. You've got the old one out. And if you compare that to the new one, you'll see that both ends are mechanically identical. All that's different in this case is the plastic cover. Now, for those of you that are interested, it's a Bosch. So if you want to order the exact part, which I'm quite sure is the correct part, it's the number on the Bosch box here is Bosch LS86777. And I don't know if it's relevant or not, but on the top of the box it says EGO 687. Definitely the correct part has turned up. So to fit the new part, it's just the reverse of what I did there. And before I fit it, just notice around the thread, and very conveniently from Bosch, they've actually put some material on there to help it bond, okay? So don't wipe off that grease. That grease is meant to be there from the factory. Leave it. You need it to go into the thread. So all I'm going to do is just with my hand, I'm just going to rotate it clockwise, just like you would with any other bolt. And I'm going to keep going until it goes snug in my hand, and then I'm going to use the tool to snug it up properly. So I'm going to put the tool on. Yeah, just stick with me. These things can be a little bit fiddly. I'm going to position it, change the direction, and I'm going to tighten it, right? So that is tight. Okay, I'm happy with that. So now I've screwed it in, so the next thing I need to do is plug it in. So that's now in. I'm going to grab the electrical connector. I'm going to plug it in to where the old one was plugged in, which is just up there. So you can see that that is now plugged in. And now we're going to go and we're going to start it up. And hopefully what we're going to see is that the check engine light has gone away. So let's go and start her up. Come down here.
Yep.
All right, so what we're looking at there, we've still got a check engine light. What that probably means is I need to now grab my scanner and just clear the code, okay? So I haven't got it on me, so we're gonna have to pause the video. I'm gonna grab my scanner, I'm gonna go clear the code, okay? Hi there, we're back now. Now, a really interesting thing happened, and this is very interesting. There's a couple of extra bits of information I want to give you. Firstly, finding the OBD2 connector on a Mondeo is not all that obvious. It's actually located here on this panel here. So that's the OBD, that's my OBD sensor there. So if you're ever looking for where the OBD port is, it's right there. The second thing that was interesting is the error that came up when I did the scan was saying circuit open. Now what happened was, before this video, I did a preparation for this video, and I must have actually turned on the ignition when I had the O2 sensor unplugged, and that caused an open circuit error which got stored in the engine control unit, and actually that's why I got the check engine light. So just to prove it, if I now start the car, check engine light is off, okay? So the problem appears to be fixed. With these oxygen sensors and the check engine lights, you do have to drive the car for a little while afterwards. You will find sometimes, for example, you do nothing, you clear the code, it goes away, and then you drive for 5 or 10 kilometers and it comes back, okay? That's just because it takes a bit of time for a certain condition to arise where the parameters coming back into the computer are out of their allowable range. So right now the check engine light's out. We're not really going to know until we've driven the car for 5 or 10 kilometers, but I'm pretty confident we've fixed it. All right, now if I've helped you for free, and I need you to do something for me for free. I need you to click like and subscribe. The only way I can get up in the rankings on YouTube is by getting likes and subscribes. I'm doing all of this for free. You need to do something for me for free. I need you to like and subscribe. Thanks very much. Put your comments below. See ya.